Hello, Explorer fans, and welcome to our first edition of Feature Friday here on GoExplorers.com. We have a very special guest here joining us today. It's the pride of Havertown, Pennsylvania, men's basketball senior, Matt Sheehan. Matt, welcome.
Chad, how are you? Good seeing you, man. Thanks for having me.
Very warm welcome from our crowd here today. And Matt, we want to talk about a lot of things here on Feature Friday, but we want to start with, of course, who you are. So I guess give me a little background of who you are, why you chose LaSalle, and what are some of your favorite parts about going to LaSalle here?
Okay, Matt Sheehan, 22 years old, came to LaSalle to play football. I played football in high school, grade school, and all that. My high school coach told me that he could get me a scholarship if I played. I couldn't play throughout high school because I blew my knee out twice. But he told me if I played my senior year, he'd be able to get me a scholarship to college, so I jumped right on that. A lot of schools were interested and then backed away when they found out about the screws in my knee. But for some reason, LaSalle stayed, and that's why I'm here. And then as I, learned more about what LaSalle offered, I was actually more excited away from football. I knew my career wouldn't last long with the injury I had, and so I wanted to stay close to home in case I did get injured again. And I ended up meeting some of the best friends I could ever had, some great teachers, and now some of the greatest teammates I could ever have.
And now, of course, while you were here for football, the football program kind of went to the wayside, and then you transitioned into basketball. So talk about that transition. Was it hard knowing that your football career at LaSalle was going to be over, and then how did you kind of get into basketball?
To be honest, I was actually, as soon as I got hurt, I knew I was done. Third time, I was done with all the rehab and all that. And then when they dropped the program, I knew that was probably the best thing that could have happened to me because I wouldn't have to fight the urge to try to get back and play again, knowing that my career was over. And then once they dropped it, I knew that they had to honor the financial aid package, which was great. So I just was here to focus on school and just get good grades and try to make a career out of the studies I decided on doing, which was criminal justice and sociology at the time, which has changed so has my athletic career. But then the transition to basketball was kind of just really, it was really sudden. I had no idea that it was going to happen. I wasn't anticipating even trying out. And then I was up shooting hoops with my friend Travis John one day last October, and Coach Stu and Coach G were up there, and Stu approached me and asked me if I wanted to walk on. And without hesitation, I said yes, of course. So and that's pretty much how it happened. They just came up and asked me if I wanted to play.
And the rest is just history, right?
Yeah.
Well, you're definitely known for being one of the most famous walk-ons here at LaSalle. So talk about what the life of a walk-on is like. Obviously, it's not all glitz and glamour. You're not going to really get in. You're not going to be a starter, but your role is still very important for the team.
Yeah, I definitely agree. The number one thing you have to know going into this is that you're not going to be playing. If I was going to be playing, I would have been recruited out of high school. It's very simple to think, wow, I'm playing basketball. This is great. When are my minutes going to come? But the hardest part for most people, which I had the same role in high school. I was on one of the top teams in the country in high school. Kids going to Duke, North Carolina, and I never really played. I scored 2 points in high school and shattered that. Now I scored 5 in college. But it's just a simple role, and I know that in order for these guys to be prepared, I have to try my hardest in practice. I'm a pain to try to box out. I foul a lot, so they get used to that. I'm not fast or quick like these guys are. I'm not tall, but I feel like what I have to bring to the table definitely helps them in some sort of way.
Now, you've been a part of many basketball teams here at LaSalle. This one seems to take on a little bit of a different makeup than ones in the past. Talk about the personality of this year's teams and why that this team has been so successful thus far.
I think the easiest way to describe this team is probably just through the word like friendship. We all like each other. On and off the court, we get along. The road trips are hilarious, obviously. I mean, they were fun last year as well. But this year, it's just like there's just nothing holding us back. We're winning, so that definitely adds to the fun. But we all, we've all been through this. We went through last year, and then the new guys came in, and saw how serious we were. Ramon came right in and knew that this was going to be no joke this season. So we were all together all throughout the summer, working hard, lifting in the morning. 7 o'clock wake-ups to lift weights is no fun, but when you're doing it together, you kind of get through it. Then you'd play pickup at 11 for about 3 or 4 hours. You do your study hall, and then you go to class, and then you come back and shoot again. You're with these guys essentially all day. So you kind of form this bond that is like no other that I've ever had, other than with family and my friends that I've developed, that I've lived with here. And it's just, you guys all have the same goal, and you buy into the same things, the things that Coach G says. It's kind of hard not to be so close and make this thing, this is definitely one of the best years I've ever had playing sports.
And this season, certainly, there's been a lot of blowout wins, which has granted you to get a lot of time to get in. And we're going to talk about the Towson game where you scored your first points. You were able to score some points against Central Connecticut. You got a rebound against Rhode Island. So you're starting to get in the stat sheet. Talk about what that feels like to be able to contribute to this team in the box score as well.
It's great. Usually, last year I was getting in the box score for turnovers and fouls. I still do those a lot, especially the offensive foul variety. The scoring thing was literally it was a great feeling, when they had their people. I went against their starting point guard at the time, posting him up, gave him the business. He couldn't handle it. Power move, got fouled and won, missed a foul shot. My dad was very upset about that.
Got to make the free throw.
I know he gave me a lot of crap for that. And then against Central Connecticut, we were up. I think it was close to 30 at half. And then I knew right away. I was like, geez, I'm going to get like some extended minutes here. So I ended up going in with like 3 minutes and change left, and ended up getting the ball like 3 or 4 times. First one, power dribble, baby hook, cash, just give him the business again. Second time got fouled, made the first foul shot, missed the second one. And then the third one, just barely missed. Could have had a career high of 5 points, but I'll take 3. It's just fun. It's just, and all the guys support me just like I support them. It's just, it really is. It's like a dream come true having, not only just people like my family and friends and the students here, like, cheer for me, but having these guys that I've spent all the time with, like I said earlier, they actually care when I go in. It's a great feeling.
Speaking of cheering for you, it's funny to see when you're in front of the home crowd, when the game gets close to the end and LaSalle's up by double digits, you can start to hear the crowd chant Ched or Ched. Yeah. What are you feeling on the bench when the game is over, but your time still has a chance to kind of shine a little bit?
Yeah, it's bird time. That's what one of my coaches calls it. To be honest, I've never been nervous before playing sports ever. Like, I've played in championship games before, where I've actually been, a key part of the team. In football, it's always big games. But I get nervous. I do get nervous. And, if you want to go shoot right now, I'll shoot 60% from 3, just with nobody guard me. I'll shoot a couple, can drive on, you can beat you one-on-one. But when there's a crowd watching and there's a 6'7" guy on me, it's kind of tough, especially with my lack of handling ability. But honestly, it just, it makes me feel appreciated for the little things I do. And it's just a great feeling.
When your time at LaSalle is over, what are you going to take from this experience here at this university?
Definitely, I'd probably say that I've always said things happen for a reason. And when I blew my knee out for the first time in high school, I thought, this is the worst. I ended up not being able to walk without crutches, or I was in a wheelchair for a little bit for close to 22 months. I was like, I'll never get back. This is going to stink. I got real out of shape. And then, one thing just keeps coming on, and the coach from my high school football team tells me to do something. So I do that, and then the only team that keeps me around is LaSalle, right? So then LaSalle comes, drops the program, I can't play football, I get out of shape again. I decide to get back in shape, and then this happens. Like, this is my dream. This is like my dream come true. I've always told my dad I wanted to play basketball in college at any level, and then once I got hurt, like, all my skills that were good for basketball were gone, were taken away, and then this happens. So it would probably just be to never give up. If there's something that you want to do, always try it until all of your opportunities are exhausted. And probably just, realize that things happen for a reason and good things come of it.
All right, that's Matt Sheehan, of course, one of the best stories here at LaSalle. We thank you for joining us here on Feature Friday. Matt, anything else you'd like to say to your fans out there before we depart?
Keep coming to the games, guys. We really do appreciate it. Go Explorers.
All right. For more information on LaSalle Athletics, of course, you can visit goexplorers.com. For Matt Sheehan, I'm Jared Smith. This is Feature Friday.